Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our semi-annual meeting for Guilds of Requiem. We're going to say hi to who we have here, but we are going to, first of all, switch over so that we are, got the right window open that says our semi-annual board meeting. And I just realized, Mikey, we didn't put the date on it, but we'll do that before we publish it to the website.
Okay.
Our agenda today is we're going to do some quick introductions. We're going to go over our reports real quick, discuss old business, discuss new business. Then we'll have an open forum for anyone who has questions. I hope to get us through here as quickly as possible today. Matt's currently getting ready for work. So I might have to do his part. He's got to go to work today, and I know everyone else kind of has meetings to get to today, including me. I totally forgot that I have a 11:30 meeting. So
Oops.
yeah, oops. So we're going to get going on this. My name is Robin Kearney Frazier. I do have a doctorate degree in adult education, so I am Dr. Robin Kearney Frazier. Ooh, I just about said my own name wrong. Gonna be a day. We have with us Mikey Gravely. She is our secretary. As I mentioned earlier, Matt Frazier, he is our treasurer. He is here. He is available, well, sort of available, but he is getting ready for work. Guild masters. We have Christopher Van Cleve is our interim agrarian guild master. Mikey is our crafters guild master. Miguel Yabanez is our guardian guild master. Jeff, I do have you listed as interim merchants guild master, but that is because you help with postings. So you saw my little posting out there about looking for a full-time one. Mikey is also our resources guild master. Heather Rosh is our scholars guild, and Matt is our technicians guild master. As per our bylaws, I cannot hold a guild master's position because it would be reporting directly to myself. Sub-guild masters for homesteaders and preppers and Space Station Requiem is myself. As they are a sub-guild, they report to a guild master, so I'm not reporting directly to myself. The Service and Working Dog Handlers Guild, we have shelved due to lack of interest at this time, along with the Steampunk Unit and the Academy. We do hope to be able to revive them in the near future. We're going to start out with our reports, and we're going to begin with the board members. We're going to take it alphabetically by position. So, as the president's report, I have our 5-year outlook. We are going to continue working up front. Our goal is to have the area next to Panther Ridge all the way to where our old event area was available for our events. We're going to pivot to events and community services that reflect the Guilds of Requiem mission statement, which is networking, education, and community service. We have begun networking with smaller area nonprofits to offer support in their mission, one of which is the Out of the Way Community Corp. They have a food bank that's available 24/7. You don't have to apply for anything. You just go in, go to their area that's outside, get what you need, leave some if you're having a good month. They also do free lunches for all the Bandera County students on Fridays because we have a 4-day school week. So that leaves a gap of necessity for the children who are home on Fridays and may depend on the school lunches as their only meal. We are working to increase our active volunteer numbers. Jeff and I were talking about it beforehand. We currently have 6 active volunteers, and we have almost 400 members across all of our guilds and our sub-guilds and projects. So we're doing pretty good on there. We're just aiming to get more of them active. All right, Mikey, this one is yours. Turn your microphone back on.
See, it's a good thing I had a coughing fit before this. So for the operational performance, we did change our fiscal year to be in line with the calendar year. It was September 1st to August 31st. That was not only confusing for us, but everyone else. So
Yeah.
we're now in line with the calendar year, January 1st to December 31st for the IRS. We did stay under budget. We had $2,140.47 in credits. We had 2,002. Hold on. Maybe I wrote that wrong.
It
I
changed.
think I may have
I've
wrote
had
it
it
backwards.
ahead.
Oh yeah.
For the July to December, we had $2,140.47 in credits.
Yes.
Our debits were $2,205.59. Our current balance for ending as December 31st, our account balance was $73.21.
Okay. Yeah. See, because I have 138.11.
That was, so right now we're going over previous minutes.
Yes, the previous ones.
So
Yeah.
the previous minutes were 2,000. The 1,000 is current, was current. So no, that would have been, the 2,000 would have been January to June. And then what I had on there is July to December, and Matt, that's covered under Matt's.
Okay.
So we're getting there.
Got it. All right. Our 5-year outlook, which pretty much falls in line with the one that Robin just went over. Of course, we're working on the area out front for the events. We want to add a storage building. That way they have their house back. And I have some storage space in my shed back because I do have some of our totes out there. We want to add a scholars and meeting building, and this would be great for people who want to give classes, game nights for the family, which I think is an awesome idea. Any type of things like that, which would allow somebody to have enough space to invite a lot of people instead of trying to get them to their house. And then, of course, more of a 10-year outlook is our retail space, having space for our members to come and put their stuff out to sell, and also adding some office space in there again, so that Robin can have her house back.
It's currently taking up 2 bedrooms.
Huh? It's taking
Currently
up two
taking up
bedrooms,
2
right? Yeah.
bedrooms in the house.
Yep. And then also in that space, I'm pretty sure we still would like to have the ability to have some kind of processing space where there could be sewing machines set
Manufacturing.
up, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we're still going to be able to do like any kind of soap stuff because Robin does have a lot of allergies to things now.
If I'm not up there,
Yeah,
then soaping can be made. My concern would be fragrant soaps in the retail space.
right.
So we might have to pivot. We do have a vendor in the Vendors Guild that makes personal care products, so we may not need to worry about making those. And we can pivot Six Sense Apothecary back to its original mission of having herbs, tinctures, and other homeopathic remedies available.
Perfect. Awesome. And then of course our volunteer count. In fact, you just said that we now have 6 volunteers. Uh-huh.
6 active out of about 300 to 400 members.
That's awesome. That's
So,
awesome.
I mean, I've looked at other nonprofits and they're all running about the same percentage of active volunteers to volunteers.
Perfect. So our plan for the next 5 years is to increase our core volunteers to 7. Currently we still have 3, right?
4.
4. Okay. With the additional 30 to help spread the work, basically any volunteers that we would need to kind of help us get things going, get things organized, especially the area up front. So increasing that to 30 would be amazing because not one person would not have to worry about doing everything, which, as we all know, is stressful. Let's see. Oh, and then for also Requiem's Events of Texas, we're looking to have that as an LLC. I'm not sure where we're at with that.
It's kind of on hold right now.
Okay, I'm going to put on hold. Okay. And of course, Requiem's Events of Texas is our wish and design to be able to provide events for people in the areas, just to have a space to come and have weddings and stuff. So let me flip my page for one. You can't
So y'all are going to apply for a limited liability?
Yes, for the Requiems Events of Texas. That way, currently I'm taking responsibility as a sole proprietorship on it with 50% of proceeds going to the guilds. Actually, I think 100% of the proceeds are going to the guilds right now, but it does count as income for me, but I get to turn around and count it as a donation to the guilds.
And
So
just to take the responsibility.
yeah, we'd like to take the liability off of the guilds and off of the property owners for having, basically renting out the space up front for events.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah,
Thank
that,
you.
that was the big purpose of the LLC.
Exactly.
Thank
All
you.
right. And then, of course, increasing our revenue with our website sales, which eventually will be switched over to a new platform. So right now, even I don't have my stuff up on the website like I should. But we do still have at guildsofrequiem.com/shop print on demand products that you can order. And we will be looking into working with a drop ship company as well. Eventually, that's in the works as well. For adding more vendor guilds members, information, or not information, but they're either their websites, if they already have one built, or getting their products up onto the website so that our vendors have more access and more visibility to customers. So we definitely want to start building up on that, which is why I feel bad, because I need to be doing that badly, and I still have not. So that's my own fault. We do want to be able to expand the area in the front to hold up to 50 vendors. So of course that is going to take a little bit of work. That's why we need more volunteers to help out, because I'm weak and puny. We won't go there.
There's a lot of us that are physically unable to participate in that process.
I mean, I can do some work, but oh, I get exhausted very quickly. So I don't mind calling myself weak and puny. um, And then going to kind of back towards the Requiems Events of Texas, we want to be able to host weddings and parties and things like that up there under the Requiems Events of Texas. So we definitely need to have the space to have larger numbers of people out there. Eventually, we'll be able to, of course, provide tables and chairs, work with local caterers, things like that, so that we can provide really good parties for people.
Pretty safe.
Yes. And let's see. Now for the compliance tracking, all volunteers do go through personal information compliance. This means none of your information is shared with anyone else. This is emails, address, anything that's personal will not be shared with anybody else. And
Well, all core volunteers have to take the compliance training.
yes, thank you. That was next. And for core volunteers, we do background checks. And this is to check for, of course, fraud and violence, because you are working with money and working around a lot of people and things like that. So we definitely want to make sure that everybody is in a safe space, as well as
At minimum, we do sexual offenders because we do work with children.
And that is the same thing with our other volunteers. There is the sex offender registry check, because again, we want to make sure that everybody that comes to our events, because we do have youth and family friendly events, we want to make sure that everyone is in a safe space. So we have to run these checks to make sure that that stays safe for everyone. And for anyone who does have to need, for anyone that needs to have access to personal information, there is a very thorough compliance training, and that is on a case-by-case basis. So not everyone gets that training. Only certain people will have that training to have access to the information that they will need for their position and their need. We want to make sure that all of our Guardians Guild members have first aid CPR training. We also would like to add in bloodborne pathogen and AED training to that. That way we're all prepared for things that could possibly happen, knock on wood. We currently do not have an AED. Eventually we would like to get one to have on hand. We also would like to have all of our first aid station volunteers get the first aid and CPR training so that they would know what needs to happen. Is it something super serious like heat stroke or heart attack or something? Or is it a cut on the finger, somebody with a headache, that kind of thing. So we would like to have all of our volunteers in this training so that they are prepared for what can and could happen. Flip the page, sorry. Our onboarding and policy changes, we have simplified the form to be more free-flowing to help it just, yeah, I can't talk apparently this morning. Free-flowing to make it easier to, one, fill out, and it's like self-guided. So we're not prompting them with questions to answers and things like that. I can't read my writing. One-on-one, I'm sorry.
One-on-one trainings.
Thank you. One-on-one training is based on your involvement level. So we won't be giving you something for somebody that's doing all of this other stuff. If you're working on one project or in one area, we're not going to give you the whole gambit of everything because, yeah, that is confusing. And we don't want to overwhelm you. Definitely. We did make these changes based on feedback from new members, some people who, you know, decided that this wasn't for them as well. So we did make some changes because, yes, a lot of this stuff was a bit overwhelming. So we have pulled down all of our onboarding content from YouTube, etc., so that it can be modified, it can be shortened. One of the biggest feedbacks was that the 30-minute video was a little bit much. So we definitely are going to be scaling down, being very exact in these videos so that the training that you need is right there and very, very quick and very short, but informational as well.
Can I ask how many people bowed out?
We've had out of 20, we've had 5. And the ones that remained are very limited in their involvement. They're staying very specific. We had one who was a veteran that came into the Guardians Guild. He's been, of course, dealing with some life challenges, but he wanted to just focus on the Guardians Warrior, Haven of Requiem Warriors, because he is a veteran. So it's not that he's, you know, it's not that they've completely bowed out. It's just that they are limiting their focus to like the master procrastinators, or specifically to homesteaders and preppers, or specifically to Space Station Requiem. You know, they're focusing more on our sub guilds and our projects, gilded projects.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that it, Mikey? Because I need to get Matt's going.
Oh,
Policy
there's
changes.
Matt. Hi, Matt.
Yeah, I saw him back there. So just real quick, the policy changes, of course, we did make some changes to our policies because we do have to follow the highest policies of basically the world, because we do have other guild members and guilds in the world itself. So we did have to make changes based on that. So there you go.
We're moving on to Matt with the treasury report.
All right, this is just the sum of what happened this year financially. Stayed under $5,000. We have an ending balance, which you want it low because we're a nonprofit. And go to the next slide. We had to amend the 2022 taxes because of our filing dates. So we've got that squared away with the IRS. Now we're with the regular fiscal year. And yeah, it's a bunch. We don't need to go into all that. It's just tax law. 2023 has been filed. We're working on the 2024 taxes, and we filed with the comptroller, which is the Texas Texas taxes that we have to do.
Yeah,
That's about it.
And the 990 PF, which is a private foundation, we have in progress. I have all of our statements, and balances and invoices compiled. Hopefully, we're getting the hang of it.
Yeah, we're still learning on
Yes.
yeah, corporate tax law is not easy to deal with, even
My-
for nonprofits.
My previous nonprofit was the 990 EZ. I just put in my current balance, my starting balance, my current balance, the amount of donations, and the amount of expenditures, and that was it. It was almost easier than filing, personal
Personal.
taxes.
Exactly.
So, but because we were labeled as a private foundation, I did get that clarified by the IRS. It's because we have a trifold mission statement that are in different realms, and we support our specific nonprofit goals, our specific projects, and that is what's labeled us as a private foundation.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, at the
No, that was a
moment,
little
the
confusing.
guilds doesn't own many assets at all. We might change that, but that just complicates the entire tax thing. So,
Yeah. So right now, as long as everything is being housed in our personal home, we're gonna maintain ownership of the property, and we are at least, donating it for the guilds to use.
yeah, for every event, everything's donated to the guilds.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So, yeah, once we get buildings up front, then we will transfer all assets to the guilds, with the exception of the buildings, because they are on the private property, and being allowed for usage. Though those will still remain under the Fraser Trust, Land Trust.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how much difference any of that really makes anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff
is-
still happens like it happens.
Yeah, I mean, and we're not making any personal gain from everything we do with the guilds. I mean, right now, majority of our income is coming from our back pocket. So once that changes, then we'll reevaluate how we're doing things and how we need to report.
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have enough revenue to pay somebody, but we're not there yet.
Yep.
And that's,
All in due time.
Yep. Old business that we had is we were looking at reducing the number of events being held per year, which we limited this year to the Homesteaders and Preppers Bazaar in March and September, and Ren Fair Bandera County in May. As Mikey's already mentioned, our onboarding and compliance, we have simplified the process, and we are doing regular reviews of our processes. Work on the event area continues. We need to do scheduled work days, and a lot of that has to do with, because it is private property, one of us has to be up there when someone's working on it. That is a simple liability issue. You cannot just show up and work on the property, because we need to be up there. Minimum for safety. We do have our first event quickly approaching, that probably in February. We need to hit it really hard every weekend or every Friday. Bless you.
Thank you.
New business, coming up in March, we are working on Operation Teddy Bear Hugs. This is providing first responders in Bandera County with stuffed animals for kids. I am already working with several agencies, already working with Pipe Creek Volunteer Fire Department, emergency management. That's my appointment this today. Waiting on return phone calls from other agencies. We're working with Out of the Way Community Corp as a drop-off location. We're working on other drop-off points in the county that's going to make it as simplified and easy as possible for distribution. I have a inquiry into Silver Sage. They have a quilters group. I have patterns for patchwork animals that I'm hoping that they'll be able to make pivot what they do and make that. We could use a coordinator specifically for that. Realistically, that's not going to happen this year, because this is a program I started back in 2003 in Corpus Christi. And Sheriff's Employee Association, Nueces County Sheriff's Employee Association, took over in 2009, and then the nonprofit that I worked for, we pivoted towards donating toys to Driscoll Children's Hospital. While they were getting a lot of donations in November and December because of the high illness rate. They were giving out a lot of toys. So we basically restocked their cupboard in the month of March. Ren Fair Bandera County, this will be the last one that we're doing. And that was a difficult decision to make. We are going to look for new coordinators and hopefully keep it going in Bandera County. Specifically, we're looking for shared values of where we want to keep it affordable for everybody to attend. As mentioned earlier, we have website migration to the WordPress format. One of the main things behind this is it's a significant cost reduction to our website presence, and it has additional resources for coordinating events. Right now, Wix basically has us locked down to where I can access it and the Guildmaster can access it. So anybody who is blogging on our sites has to send me the information and the photos that need to be used, or rely on me to find appropriate photos. And that takes up a lot of my time and resources to do that. My blogs, I'm spending about 20-30 minutes on with my researching and writing. When someone else sends me the information, I'm spending anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, because I do verify that their information is accurate and truthful as possible. So if they're able to blog, then all I have to do is go back and verify the information, which, brings me back down to my 15-20 minutes of, saying, hey, is this good information? Open forum, oh, wait a second, I forgot to do by the guilds. I got ahead of myself.
You have a slide for that?
No, I did not. I forgot it. The Agrarian Guild is focusing on the Homesteaders and Preppers Guild, which is events, marketing, and postings, along with a meeting on the third Saturday of every month. The Crafters Guild, we're going to kind of be shifting a little bit to Requiem's Kitchen, which is family recipes from members.
Oh, fun.
Favorite recipes. Right now, my formatting leaves a lot to be desired. That Kevin is going to be helping with that. And we'll have a form for, to fill out for this is the recipe. And the one thing that we are doing away with is we do not need that great big long 5,000 word essay on why this is our favorite recipe and the history behind it. We're there just for the recipes. I listen to that in all of the forums that I'm a part of, and people just want the recipe. We are hoping that once Mikey's life settles down and we get other people as a part of Crafters Guild, that we can return to the Crafters blog. Garden guilds right now, blog postings are relevant to the other topics. Like we're doing homesteaders and preppers. Preppers need to worry about mental health, physical health, personal safety, property safety. It's relevant to all of them. Operation Teddy Bear Hugs is under the Guardians Guild. Marketing Guild is once again website migration. We are going to put a hold on new products and vendors adding their product to the website, just so that we can reduce the amount of time that it'll take to transfer the main guild. Yeah, and I know you and about 3 others are glad for that. Requiem's Guild is not Requiem's Guild, Resources Guild. I need enough coffee, man. Focuses on the finances and working with the treasurer. It does make the daily business decisions. Scholars Guild is focusing on Texas history, specifically what life was like living around here. Who were the people here? My eventual thought is, should we restart Ren Fair Bandera County? We're going to focus it on what was the Renaissance time periods, the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries like in Texas. So that way we're also educational in meeting our mission statement with that project. We are keeping relevant posts. If anybody's following the Scholars Guild, we did National Book Month. We've done Library Month. We've done a few other things. Technicians Guild, we actually had Oaken Grove Electric went out and assisted somebody on an electrical need, so that we did have to He did have a little bit of income, but we did also have to reimburse Matt for his time and for part of the time and all the equipment, all the materials needed.
Exactly. Way to go, Matt. It's a start. It is a start getting out there and helping somebody, because that is like the biggest thing about us. We want to help.
We want to help. Does anyone have any questions or content or something, a topic they'd like to bring up? Yes, ma'am.
Just one question.
Mhm.
For volunteers, are we on any lists for any organizations and places like that for people who need volunteer hours?
I have been in contact with the middle and high schools.
Okay.
They have students that need community service hours, and every once in a while we have some that are looking for not your normal volunteer work.
Okay.
We do have a young man that has gotten a scholarship to colleges, but he has to maintain his community service hours. So he's now our video historian or photographer at events.
Awesome. Okay.
And he's been helping me with some of the graphics. I am working with the courts in Bandera County to see if we can get on their community service list for people that are being sentenced to community service for their thing.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, because that's something that someone else I talked to was looking into as well. And I was like, you know what, that's a good idea, because I wasn't sure how far we were with that.
Yeah, there are a lot of legal aspects that we need to look at, and one of the courts is working with me on that, because we have to have a certain financial responsibility should the person get hurt on our property.
Gotcha.
We
Okay.
do have some check boxes that we have to do on our end before they can do that.
Exactly, because we still have to know background information and stuff.
Yeah, well, the ones that we would be doing would be like traffic citations, minor, possession in a small amount. Yeah, we all get photobombed by our pets.
But I'm like, nobody wants to see your butt on the food.
That would be looking at, like, those who have like this minuscule amount of marijuana that the state of Texas says that they have to issue a Class C citation for.
Right. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be minor things. I'm not comfortable with having anybody that has a major conviction against them that's on a work program where one of the deputies have to come out with them.
Right. And again, that's, we want everybody to feel
it's
safe
safety,
at our
yeah.
events. Yeah.
It's a safety issue. They definitely would not be at any events volunteering. This would all be before and after events volunteering.
Gotcha.
Once again, that's just a safety, safety concern that we have for keeping our events family friendly.
Exactly.
Any other questions that you can think of? No? Okay. So we're gonna go, that kind of covered our Q&A and open stuff. We're gonna go ahead and say thank you everyone for joining. We appreciate your time with us. And if at any time you have questions regarding Guilds of Requiem, our email address is customerservice@guildsofrequiem.com, or you can reach me directly at president@guildsofrequiem.com. We hope you have a blessed and safe weekend, and going into next week, please be safe in keeping yourself warm.